start the reading and explanation of part 2.
The warm breezes of approaching summer had sent everyone, including the gardener, into the house. I was feeling drowsy myself. Drowsy means sleepy. Wondering if I should go to the pond and have a swim with Ramu and the buffaloes, when I saw a huge black cobra gliding out of a clump of a cactus. Gliding means moving smoothly, and clump means group of bushes or trees. At the same time, a mongoose emerged from the bushes and went straight for the cobra. Emerged means came out. In a clearing beneath the banyan tree. Clearing means an open space in a forest where there are no trees. In bright sunshine, they came face to face. The cobra knew only too well that the grey mongoose, 3 feet long, was a superb fighter, clever and aggressive. But the cobra too was a skillful and experienced fighter. He could move swiftly and strike with the speed of light. Strike means attack. And sacks behind his long, sharp fangs were full of deadly poison. Sacs means a part of an animal or plant shaped like a bag. It was to be a battle of champions. So, children, one day the narrator saw a big cobra coming out in search of prey. Just then, a mongoose also came out from the bushes. The two came face to face under the tree. And as we have read in the previous chapter, that both were great fighters, swift and clever. Hissing defiance. Defiance means rebellion, resistance, or challenge to fight. His forked tongue. Forked tongue means divided tongue, darting in and out, means moving in and out. The cobra raised 3 of his 6 feet off the ground and spread his broad spectacled hood. Spectacled means having marks like powered glasses. The mongoose bushed his tail. Bushed means spread out into a thick clump. The long hair on his spine stood up. Spine means backbone. Though the combatants were unaware of my presence in the tree, combatants means participants in a fight. They were soon made aware of the arrival of two other spectators. Spectators means those who watch a show or a game. One was Mena and the other a jungle crow. They had seen these preparations for battle and had settled on the cactus to watch the outcome. Outcome means result. Had they been content only to watch, all would have been well with both of them. Content means satisfied. So, children, in these paragraphs, the narrator has described the fight between the mongoose and the snake. The cobra raised its body 3 feet off the ground. The mongoose kept its eye fixed below the cobra's hood. The fight between the champions began. There were 3 onlookers on the fight now: the author, the mena, and a wild crow. The cobra stood on the defensive, swaying slowly from side to side. Defensive means self-protection, and swaying means moving slowly side to side, trying to mesmerize the mongoose. Mesmerize means magically persuade or try to attract the mongoose into making a false move. But the mongoose knew the power of his opponent's glassy, unwinking eyes. Opponent means the enemy, and glassy, unwinking eyes means the eyes that are not blinking, and refused to meet them. So the mongoose did not see in the eyes of cobra. Instead, he fixed his gaze at a point. Gaze means his look, at a point just below the cobra's hood. and opened the attack, moving forward quickly until he was just within the cobra's reach. The mongoose made a pretended move to one side. Immediately, the cobra struck. His great hood came down so swiftly that I thought nothing could save the mongoose. But the little fellow jumped neatly to one side and darted in as swiftly as the cobra, biting the snake on the back and darting away again out of reach. These paragraphs describe us the fight between the mongoose and the snake. The mongoose was so swift that he bit the snake on the back. This fight has also been described in the beginning of the chapter that I have already read for you. At the same moment that the cobra struck means hit, the crow and the mena hurled themselves at him. Hurled means moved or pushed, only to collide heavily in midair. Collide means hit into each other. Shrieking insults at each other. Shrieking means crying insults at each other. They returned to the cactus plant. Means they both collided, they both hit into each other, and they just started shouting or crying on each other. A few drops of blood glistened on the cobra's back. Glisten means shone. The cobra stuck and missed. Means now the cobra hit but he missed. Again the mongoose sprang aside. Means jumped aside, jumped in and bit. Again the birds dived at the snake, bumped into each other instead and returned shrieking to the safety of the cactus. Bumped means hit and shrieking means crying. The third round followed the same course as the first. Round means a stage in a fight or a competition, but with one dramatic difference. Now, this fight is a bit different from the first one. How the crow and the mena still determined to take part in the proceedings. Proceedings means activity. Dived at the cobra. So they flew down and tried to hit the cobra. But this time they missed each other as well as their mark. Their mark means their target. The mena flew on and reached its perch. Perch means its seat. But the crow tried to pull up in midair. Pull up means here stop and turn back. In the second that it took the bird to do this, the cobra whipped his head back and struck with great force. Whipped means move back suddenly, and struck means hit. His snout thudding against the crow's body. Snout means the nose and mouth of an animal. Thudding means hitting against the crow's body. I saw the bird flung nearly 20 feet across the garden. Flung means here thrown. It fluttered about for a while. Flutter means it moved its wings for a while and then lay still. Lay still means become motionless. The crow was dead now. The mena remained on the cactus plant when the snake and the mongoose returned to the fight. Very wisely decided not to interfere again. So children, the two birds decided to interfere in the fight of mongoose and the cobra, but they hit against each other. They made a second attempt but in vain. In the third attempt, the crow was beaten by the snake and it fell dead. Mena kept sitting on the cactus plant. The cobra was weakening and the mongoose, walking fearlessly up to it, raised himself on his short legs and with a lightning snap had the big snake by the snout. The cobra writhed and lashed about in a frightening manner. Writhe means twisted and lashed means strike, and even coiled itself about the mongoose, but to no avail. To no avail means with no success. The little fellow hung grimly on until the snake had ceased to struggle. Ceased means stopped to struggle. He then smelled along its quivering length, gripping it round the hood. and dragged it into the bushes. The manna dropped cautiously to the ground, means the manna came carefully to the ground, hopped about, peered into the bushes. She tried secretly to look into the bushes from a safe distance and then, with a shrill cry of congratulation, flew away. The fight between the mongoose and the cobra went on for quite some time. The cobra grew tired and weak. The mongoose caught the cobra by its mouth. The cobra coiled itself round its enemy, but it could struggle no more. The mongoose dragged it into the bushes. The manna flew down and looked into the bushes. That the snake has been killed by the mongoose.
So that's all about the reading and explanation of this chapter. In the next session, we will discuss the question answers and book exercise of the same chapter. Till then, bye bye.